Here's a little song about the evolution of the modern diet. We start with the hunter-gatherers, or gatherer-hunters, whichever you prefer. 2 million years of evolution brought us to where we are. But our very distant ancestors had a diet that from ours is very far. They ate a lot of meat, plants when they needed, and they had none of our diseases because of how they feeded. Okay, I know that's not a word. Work with me here. And they were big and strong, with muscles lean and long. They didn't need an NTP. But then came the agricultural revolution. About 10,000 years ago, we made a really big shift. We started planting all our food and our health outcomes started to drift. Tooth decay, anemia, the denseness of our bones. We began to suffer as we grew food closer to our homes. And we got bigger and thicker and fatter and sicker. We could have used an NTP. The introduction of sugar. Along came the 1600s and we got something new to eat. Exploring ships brought sugar back and we all had a little treat. Back then they didn't eat too much, just a few pounds a year. But today we eat 200 pounds, diabetes is our fear. And we got bigger and thicker and fatter and sicker. We could have used an NTP. The Industrial Revolution. People moved to cities and stopped raising their own food. Processing for shelf life, there's one thing we can conclude. The density of nutrients declining even more. And working in the factories meant much less time outdoor. And we got bigger and thicker and fatter and sicker. We could have used an NTP. The rise of big food. At the turn of the 20th century, big companies appeared. Nestle, Kellogg's, Post, and Coke made food that they said we shouldn't fear. Ha! The more these guys made money, the more influence they held. Pushing diet policy, the government felt compelled. And we got bigger and thicker and fatter and sicker. We could have used an NTP. Next came the chemical revolution. The middle of the 20th century brought damage to our chromosomes. Advancements in technology were soon applied at home. Chemicals and pesticides to harvest bigger crops. C8 used in Teflon changed the food on our tabletops. And we got bigger and thicker and fatter and sicker. We could have used an NTP. And now we're in the digital revolution. The final age we're in right now is nothing like before. We're sitting staring at our screens and our health we just ignore. Posture, blue light, EMFs, no time to walk the woods. Bad diets and bad food advice, we don't do what we should. Everybody now. And we got bigger and thicker and fatter and sicker. We could have used an NTP. And now the finale. People now are talking about returning to our roots somehow. But who wants the lives of our ancestors when it's just so easy now? We've gotta do the research, separate good advice from bad, or else we'll keep declining as we continue to eat sad. Yep, that's the standard American diet, sad. So we won't get bigger and thicker and fatter and sicker, but we'll still need an NTP. Well, I hope we will, or we'll all be out of a job.